Ayubowan, and thank you for joining me on another episode on Sunnylanka. I'm your host Priya, and today, after a long break, I understand, is another recipe that I am preparing for my kids for lunch this afternoon. So I thought I'd take you along and just show you this quick and easy. It's very quick and very easy recipe that I have, and it's trying to make a healthy meal for them. Within a short time. Okay, so what I have here are three basa fillets, and these come frozen for me, so they're nice and clean. They cut up, and I've just let them to sit on the board here and get rid of some of the moisture that was on the fish, and so now they are ready to go. So that's my fish. You'll need whatever fish you have. If you have them as fillets, that's really good. Otherwise, even thick pieces of fish with the skin on, that's fine too. You can use it like that. But these ones don't have skin, and my kids prefer it that way. So that's what you need: a fish, and we'll need one egg and a small flat bowl, preferably flat and large enough for you to be able to dip the fish into. So you don't want something round and deep, but you want something shallow and wide enough for the fish. And a fork to whisk, or you can use a small whisk too. A flat plate. I'm using this, but you could use just a dinner plate as well if you don't have one. And that's just, we're going to use some flour, which I have here, and I'll probably be using about a cup of flour, maybe a little bit more, so as we need it. And then we will add to the flour, we'll be adding in seasonings, the standard salt, pepper, salt, and today I'm going to use a little bit of the onion powder and some cayenne pepper, chili powder, that I have. And then it's for the kids, so I'm not using a lot of the chili powder, but just to give it a little bit more flavor. So you can really, and everything is to taste, so I don't have measurements, it's all to taste. And it really is, you can play around with some of the flavors and see what you like. It's so quick and easy, so join me as we carry on with this recipe. For filming purposes, I'm just going to break this up here a little bit so that I'll be able to use both my hands to get some of the work done. So I've broken up the egg in the bowl, and I'm just going to whisk it up. And nothing fancy, just whisk up your egg. Okay. And there you go. So the egg is ready. Now let's get the flour. I put in not a whole cup, but I've put in here 3/4 of a cup of flour, and 1 cup seemed a little too much for 3 fillets. So I'm going to start off with 3/4 of a cup of the flour, and this is just plain flour, to which I'm going to season it with some salt. Okay, and some of the garlic powder, so just a little bit, and the the onion powder. Now the onion powder has a little strong flavor to it, so I don't want to put too much, just a hint of it in all of this flour. And then a little bit of my chili powder as well. And like I said, this is for the kids, so they are not too fond of the chili powder. And I'm gonna just mix that all up, so give it a good mix. And even this might be a little too much flour. I definitely don't need this much, but okay. Okay, so that's that. So then next, what I did is I just seasoned the fish with just salt and pepper, and this is all done on the one side. I'm now going to flip it over and season it on the other side. So there, both sides are seasoned, and now we're ready to coat the fillets in first the egg and then the flour. So let's take the first one, and if I can move this out of the way. Oh, and I forgot to mention, we'll also need some oil for frying, and today I'm using extra virgin olive oil just to keep it on the healthy side, and I think that is preferable. But if you don't have it, then you can use the regular cooking oil that you have, but you won't need a lot of oil, okay, just so you know. Alright, so just place the egg, the fish in the egg, and you're going to give it a light coat. So just make sure it coats the fish everywhere. Turn it around a couple of times. Okay, and then you want to dip it into the flour, so take off all the excess egg, and then you put it into your flour. Okay, there you go. And then you want to use your other hand to cover the to coat the fish in the flour. But before you do that, after you wipe your hands from the egg, turn on your stove with a frying pan on it. So now I'm using here a shallow but wide frying pan, and I'm using a non-stick one. It's just easier to handle the fish, but you don't have to. But the key is to get the pan very hot before you actually place the fish in it. That way it won't stick to the bottom. Okay, so let's get the oil in the pan and start up the heat on the pan. Okay, so I've started the heat on the pan, and just to get the oil on the bottom, and you basically want to cover the bottom of it with oil, and so that should be good enough. It's about 3 to 4 tablespoons of oil, and it may seem like it looks like a lot, but it's not. It's not even covering all of the bottom of the pan because it's a wide pan. And once we place the fish in, we'll move the fish around just a little bit, so that, or move the oil around just a little bit. So now we have to, while the oil is heating up and it'll start to shimmer, so until then we need to work on the fish. Okay, so back to the fish, and I'm going to drop the flour on top, but you can just roll it around. You can roll up the fish in the flour, and that'll work too. But I just don't want egg on my hands. Okay, there we go. Okay, and you just want a light coating on it, nothing fancy, nothing too much. And this is so easy to do. It's just, it's there. And shake off the excess, and you are just good to go. Okay, so now the oil is ready, it's shivering, and I am going to place this fish into the oil. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to do the other two and get back to you. Okay, so I've placed all 3 of the fillets in, and I just wanted to mention one more thing. Once you place it in, don't touch the fish. Just leave it the way it is. And what you can do is slightly move the oil around. It doesn't go to where you need it to make sure that all the fish is cooking. And I have it on a medium flame so that the fish doesn't burn, because it's fairly thick, as you can see, so it needs some time to cook, and you don't want it to burn. And it is flour after all, okay? So give it about 2 to 3 minutes on each side, and then slowly and very gently turn over the fish onto the other side. Okay, so let me see if I can try and do this. There you go. Turn it on, and then don't touch it. Just leave it like that, okay? And another 2 to 3 minutes on this side, and then the fish should be cooked, and you have to take it off of the heat and drain it on some paper towels, and you are done. But let's get there first, okay? So while the fish is cooking, I just want to mention that to know how it's done is if you press down lightly on the fish, it should be firm and springy, and it should not be too soft. Like you'll know the difference between the firm fish that is cooked, and if it's uncooked, it'll kind of be mushy, which you don't want. And these are done. So I'm just going to plate it onto, I'm just going to take it off first and put it on the plate with paper towels. And then we will plate it up later. Here's my last one. And just to take it off and drain it on the paper towels. And turn off the stove. And now let's plate up the fish.
There you go, folks. Simple, easy, nutritious, and delicious battered basa fillets served with sauteed vegetables and mashed potatoes. You can also serve it with steaming rice and dal curry, Sri Lankan style. Try it today and do share with me on my Facebook page at Sunnylanka, Sri Lankan Homestyle Cooking. And hope you enjoyed this video. And if you haven't already done so, please do subscribe and give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to leave me your comments, questions, or suggestions down below. You can also write to me at sunnylanka09@gmail.com. So let's have a conversation going on Facebook. I'd really like to hear from you. And again, thanks for watching and stay tuned for many more recipes to come. Till next time, Ayubowan.